When fleeing from the crime scene, Ryan stepped into the victim's blood, leaving a trail of footprints covered with blood and dirt all over it, all over the ground and all over outside. When we arrived at the crime scene to recover the evidence, we could see that footprints were made with blood right in front of the house, leading to the sidewalk. As you can see here, the dirt and the blood and the print of the shoe over here. We analyzed this blood to figure out the blood type using blood typing. This led us to figure out what blood type this blood was, and match it up with the three suspects' blood type. We then figured out that this blood was A positive, which matched the victim's blood outside who was killed, which would explain that Ryan was the one who possibly committed the crime. His shoe was found under his bed in his room, and we could see the same footprints as found on the ground. It's also covered with blood all over it, and we can see also that he tried to wash it, but didn't succeed and had to leave in a hurry. Last one look. In order to determine that the footprint found outside the house and inside the house at the crime scene was Ryan's, was to take his shoe size and match it to the shoe found at his house. Ryan's shoe size was a 10, and the shoe found at his house with blood on it is a 10 shoe size. Then we took the shoe and looked at the pattern of the bottom of the shoe found, and compared it to the patterns of the shoe on the footprint at the crime scene. We could definitely see that the pattern was equally the same, as everything matched, including the shoe size, as it's inscripted here, due to the pressure when he stepped. When we asked Ryan to step in the shoe to see if it fit him, it fitted him perfectly. It was like his foot was made for the shoe. The sides nicely fitted the side of his feet, and the top perfectly overlapped the top of his foot. In addition, the dirt found under his shoe, or the shoe found at the crime in his house, matched the dirt that was found at the crime scene with blood on it. All these evidence combined proved that Ryan was, in this case, the suspect. All evidence corresponds to the shoe that Ryan wore.
A, B, and RH. ones will be like a completely different color.
The B positive blood type, we will add vinegar to the B well.
No, I don't want them on my computer right now. No, I got a clear space on my computer.
I got a clear space on my phone.
You already took them.
I can delete them. You want me to delete it?
The B well. For suspect 1. Vinegar in A well for suspect 2. And vinegar in all of the wells for suspect.
We would wash these out.
We can see that suspect 3 is has a blood type of O positive, as every of the wells clump.
But I'm just not very
Now to test for we will put water in the RH, in the A positive, in the A well.
I have a puppy.
Characters you can't make dogs criminal. How many dogs do you
That's
think
kind of how we're going to do it. We only have like 3 dogs to work with, so we're just going to make it work. I know it's very good. I know it's so funny.
And put vinegar in the RH. We can see that the RH antibody is clumps, and that the B well clumps as well. So that's mean that it would be a B positive blood type. To test for suspect 2, we will put vinegar in the RH.
I saw the video.
Well.
I need to get in though.
Huh?
The video.
This video?
Yeah.
And water in the B well. We can then see that this well has a blood type of A positive, since the A well clumps and the RH well clumps as well. The control in this is the A positive blood type, which was found at the crime scene, as we can see right here. And here are all the blood types of the suspects. We have B positive here, O positive here, and we have A positive here. The blood that would match the blood at the crime scene would be suspect 3, which has an A positive blood type.
To match up Ryan's hair with the hair found at the crime scene, we put both the control samples, which are the hair found at the crime scene, and Ryan's hair into a microscope and looked at them and the lenses and the 2 samples. In order to determine whose hair was found at the crime scene, we needed to set up a microscope, to set up a slide with the samples of the 2 hair samples, using a pipette and water. Then we secured the sample by using a small thin glass slide.
Myself instead of Bobby. Bobby wasn't a part of it. Yeah, I was really proud of him. This is like the
When the sample was focused in the microscope, we could clearly see the resemblance in both of the hair samples. Both seem to be a continuous strand with speckles in the hair.
This is our front job.
They play tomorrow, right?
Like photobomb us. Yeah, at 9:30.
With who?
Ecuador.
When we arrived at the crime scene, we saw on the countertop a couple of prints from the suspect's hand, and in this case would be Ryan. He mistakenly put his hand on the countertop, slapping it, which left prints, and he had ink in his pocket from a broken pen he had, and he shot the gun with that ink. So we got the ink as well from the gun, but mostly from the countertop that we see right here. So in order to pick up those prints, we used tape. We taped each of the prints found, and then we cut a piece of tape. We put a piece of tape over each one of the prints, and then put them on a piece of paper, in order to match them up with Ryan's fingerprints. We later went to Ryan and took his fingerprints, which we can see right over here. We can see his prints over here. He was the suspect. Over here. He was suspect. And when we matched his fingerprints with the his fingerprints over here, to the ones that we found at the crime scene, we could see that they both matched. So here is the procedure. These are the prints from the crime scene, and we will use tape to pick those prints up and then put them on a piece of paper. Now we have all 5 pieces of tapes to pick up all 5 prints found on the countertop. So picking up the first tape, we will paste the tape right on top of the fingerprint and apply pressure.
Over here. Apply pressure. Then we'll pick up fingerprint 2, tape 2, and repeat the same step. Applying pressure, of course, on the countertop. Then same thing for piece of tape 3, 4, and 5. 3, 4, 5. Over here. Perfect. You can see we have all 5 pieces of tapes. Now pressure will be applied.
Now we will remove each print from the countertop, as we can see right there. So we will remove fingerprint 1. So removing fingerprint 1. Now we have picked up the print.
Now we will do the same thing for fingerprint 2. There we go. Fingerprint 2 was then applied to the paper. Same thing for 3. And repeating 4 and 5. Tape is very hard to remove. There we go. Sorry. Here we go. Each prince. 3 more to go. 2 more to go. You can see this one. Applied over there. And the last one. Pretty easy to remove. That's it. Over here.
We now have 4 fingerprints, 5 fingerprints, and now that it will be time to analyze each one of them. We will analyze each one of Ryan's prints and see if they can match up the prints found at the crime scene. So we'll start with the right thumb. We can see that the right thumb has 2 whorls, 2 little whorls on top of each other, which would mean that this type of print is a double loop whorl. Now the index shows 2 deltas on each sides, which mean that it's a plain whorl. Now going on the middle, right middle finger, this would show more of a loop, a central pocket loop, as it slants on the right side and has a delta on the other side. The right ring would be just as well, just another, no, it would be more reflexive an ulnar loop, as it's a higher shape and more aligned. The pinky would be, in this case, an ulnar loop. And let's go to the left little, would be a radial loop. Now the thumb would be called an accidental whorl. Sorry, my bad. A plain whorl. Now the left index. Now matching up these prints and identifying each one of them. So starting on the left, it's really hard to see with the camera filming, but this will be a plain whorl, as both sides have deltas. This print is extremely hard to see, where I'm having a really hard time, but it should be an ulnar loop. It's shaped just like one, which would be the index finger. This finger would be over here, would be a ulnar loop as well, which is again which is the right index. This is the right thumb, which shows a plain whorl, and this is the pinky, which shows ulnar loop. When we connected each one of the prints, we found out that 5 of the prints corresponded to 5 of Ryan's prints. So we could see that the right thumb, the right and left index, as well as the pinky, was identified as exactly the same, when on the other suspects they were all different. Stop and turn around. Put your hands behind your head. Get on your knees. Ryan, is that your name?
Yes, sir.
You committed the crime of killing Bruce yesterday at around 12:30 in the morning. He was found dead in his apartment. You are now under arrest. Anything you say can and will be held against you in the court of law. You have the right to have an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, the state will provide you one. Do you understand your rights, Ryan?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now stand up. Put your hands behind your back and walk with me. Don't make my life difficult. I don't have time.